Hello and welcome to our channel. I'm Danielle
And I'm Stephanie.
and together we clean homes for free.
Welcome to part 2 of this house. In last week's video we did the bathroom, and in this week's video you will see us doing the living room, which as you can see is really filled with rubbish. And we have a whole story about that rubbish which we'll kind of get to in a little while. So for anybody that hasn't seen last week's video, I will link it in the description below. And just for a little context, this home is the home of a lady who has several disabilities, including HEDS and anxiety and POTS syndrome. I think it's syndrome.
I think so.
Yep, POTS syndrome. And she also hoards rubbish, as you can see. So when we did last week's video, we kind of didn't really know what EDS was, and so we read out a little bit about what it was. But then when we were looking at the message that we received, there was a H in front of it, and Danielle thought that was a typo.
Yeah.
Since then, we had several comments on the video explaining a bit more about what it was. So we have one comment here that we just kind of wanted to read out because it was really educational, and we just think it's good to learn more about these conditions that lead to people's homes getting in this condition. So Danielle's going to read that out just now.
Okay, it's me doing the reading. Great. EDS is a collagen disorder where the body doesn't produce collagen properly. So anything that has collagen doesn't work quite right. That's muscles, tendons, skin, veins, almost everything in the body uses collagen. So people with EDS can have all kinds of issues. They usually have really loose joints, which causes a lot of pain and can completely disable a person. This person's spine vertebrae are super loose, which causes major spinal problems and has made it so that they can't walk much at all anymore. And there isn't really a fix. There is no cure, not much of anything that helps. Braces and wheelchairs can help a bit. Sometimes replacing hips, knees with fake ones help those joints, but it's literally every part of the body that isn't working right, so they usually don't even bother to try fixing the issues. EDS is like a bicycle that has every part loosened, and that only describes the hypermobility issues. There's quite a bit more issues that a person can have, like our aorta, okay, that one, or veins in our head could just suddenly tear open with no warning. Sports players that suddenly die when they get body checked, it usually turns out they had EDS and didn't know. EDS can be somewhat mild, lots of body aches and pains, and also completely debilitating. It gets worse over time because the joints wear out fast. There is too much movement in them.
So that is a lot more serious than what we initially realised. So that kind of just gives you some sort of insight into the kind of conditions that people are living with. And then if you're living in that much pain and that much risk and all those like things that can happen to you, then it's no wonder that your home can get into this condition. And that doesn't mean I'm generalizing and saying, if you have that condition, your home's going to look like this. So that you not everybody has the same
level
experience of their condition and has the same outcome. And an interesting fact that somebody else commented on the video was that, for any readers out there, Rebecca Yaros, who writes the Fourth Wing series, she has the condition as well, and her character Violet Sorrengail, sorry, I'm stumbling over my words tonight, Violet Sorrengail, her limbs are always kind of like dislocating and stretching and things, and I didn't realise at the time that this was what she had. I just assumed it was hypermobility, but yeah, so she bases the character off of her own condition, which I thought was really interesting. Also, I've not fact checked that, so if that's not true, blame the person who commented, not me. The angles in this video, not gonna lie, they're not great. We set the phone up and didn't really check it, so we kind of do it backwards. When we're working on the far side of the room, the camera's on this side, and then when we move to the other side, we swap the camera.
I think we should have kept the camera there
Mhm.
and like worked our way towards the camera. Watching the
Yeah.
footage back, I'm like, oh, we should have just kept it where it was.
I know, and
just
I
kept
realised
working towards the camera.
I realised that when I was editing
Yeah.
it, and that was my fault, guys. I told her to move the camera in a little while, and it was a mistake.
So sorry.
So this is day 1. So for anybody that watched the previous video, we went to this house 3 days over the course of a week. So the first day we did about 3.5 hours, and it was mostly just gathering the rubbish in this room. And then we encountered a problem. So you can talk about that.
So we came across dead mice.
That was not what I was talking about.
Okay. Oh, the rubbish one. Well, we'll start with the dead mice, okay? Because I think that's... I
feel like you need a
trauma.
feel like you need a trigger warning before you say we come across dead animals.
Oh, well, trigger warning, guys. We can start with the dead mice problem.
Okay.
So I'm not great with much stuff, to be honest, as I'm figuring out doing this job. But I did think that I'd be okay with something like that. Like, I used to be a carer for the elderly, and anyone that kind of knows that, like, you experience death working in a job like that. But there's just something about dead animals that I can't deal with. So Steph came to my rescue.
So many times. So many times. So I think one of the things that we were thinking when we were doing this was like, oh, I'm surprised there's not like a bug or a mouse infestation. That's because of the cats, I'm assuming. They were doing their job. There were so many.
But also, there were outdoor cats, and anyone that has had an outdoor cat or knows someone close with an outdoor cats often bring you back presents. So I'm sure it was my mum's cat, I can't remember. Someone's cat used to bring like a mouse now and again and just leave it on the doorstep as like a present and be like, oh, I love you. So I don't know if they were maybe bringing it in.
I'd rather not have their love.
I don't know if they were maybe bringing it in from outside and being like, here.
Possibly.
Have a present.
Yeah. But then there was just so many hidden underneath
every
everything.
2 minutes I was like, Steph.
Yeah. So in the last video, when I was like, I was the real hero in this one, it's because I kept getting called to remove the unfortunate dead animals.
Yeah.
And there wasn't just mice, but you'll have to wait till the next video. What is it you say?
Come back next time.
So yeah, you'll find out about that in the next video. But the actual problem that I was talking about was the problem with the rubbish.
Yeah, okay.
You want to talk about that?
So I don't think we expected... I mean, we knew it was going to be bad. I don't know why we never organised something beforehand.
Yeah, it was just...
We're just so unorganised.
Do you know what it is? It's we... Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. There I am.
I got that. That was... So we went for lunch there, and then when we came back, that was Danielle getting all suited up and being the trash mountain. No, do you know what it is? Do you know why we didn't have it organised? It's because we take Cadham from trash converters for granted. Mm-hmm. Like, we just assume, oh yeah, he doesn't work on Sundays. He'll be free to help us out. You know, we're so entitled. And so we messaged him and he was like, oh, I'm actually, in another part of Scotland right now because I think one of his children do dancing. And so we were like, oh no.
What are we going to do now?
So we put up a plea on social media and, like, don't get me wrong, it got a lot of reach. I think 61,000 people seen it or something like that. It was like quite a lot. Or it might have been 6,000. I could be exaggerating.
I think it was 61 or something.
I feel like it was a lot.
Yeah.
So anyway, a lot of people seen it. We got a lot of reactions and we did get a few messages. However, I think the cheapest quote that we got was like 3 or 4 times what Callum charges us, but nobody could really come out that day. And the one person that could come out that day, they didn't really reply in time before we had to actually leave the property. So it was our own fault. And we do have some other contacts now in case this ever happens again. And we just need to be more prepared because we can't even say we weren't expecting this amount of rubbish this time because we had good pictures. We were well informed. It was just lack of organisation and
taking Callum for granted.
Yeah, we will never do that again. Thank you so much, Callum. So anyway, so we ended up having to originally we put all the rubbish outside that we had gathered, and then we brought it all back inside because we had to leave. So we'd asked the lady, if she could stay away from the house for the night. And then Callum came and removed the rubbish the next day, which was really good of him.
He is our rubbish angel.
Yeah, he really is, because, seeing the quotes that we were getting from other companies, it just goes to show, how much of a favour he is doing us as well. So even though this is not sponsored, use trash converters if you live in Fife and you need rubbish removal. He is definitely the best.
It does more than rubbish removal as well. It does like house moves and just kind of any
man with a van.
Yeah, man with a van. Yeah. Any needs for a man with a van, it's trash converters. They're the one.
So sorry, like we said about the angles. We moved the camera here and then piled all the rubbish in front of it.
Taking a wee break.
Who knew what we were thinking? No, this was you trying to sort out the rubbish removal. Okay. Yeah.
Technically a wee break.
So we see Danielle on her phone a lot. It's because she was trying to organise that. And so that's why we only stayed 3.5 hours, because we were going to stay a bit longer. And then we were like, we just don't have anywhere to put this, so we're going to need to go. And then we had planned to come back 2 evenings, but we only managed 1 evening. But you so in about a few minutes, I think, you kind of see us on the second visit. Well, no, we finished the living room on the third visit, didn't we?
Yeah.
I've kind of done transitional photos. So one of the things we forgot to do when we were leaving was to take like a progress picture. So when we arrive on the third day, when we're doing the living room, I take photos then so that we can kind of see where we get to. It was the third day.
Mm-hmm.
So another really nice thing, when we were doing this clean, when we arrived on the third day, we had a really lovely letter waiting for us and a little gift. What did the gift say again?
I can't remember.
It was a keychain, and it was like, be proud of who you are and what you do. Yeah, something like that.
Be proud of who you are and the work you do and something.
And the difference you make or something like that. It was really sweet. And we have the letter here, and we were going to wait until the third video to read this out, but I'm just wanting to read it out now. So
you are reading it though, yeah.
Thanks. I'm not going to torture you anymore. Well, maybe.
My dyslexic brain's had enough of reading.
It is like 10:20 at night when we're doing this voiceover, which, by the way, we have not left it until the last minute. You guys will be pleased to know that we're doing this on Thursday, so you will hopefully be watching this on Saturday, not Sunday. Okay, this is the letter. So, to Danielle and Stephanie, I want to tell you how thankful I am. I don't think you realise how much a difference you make, so here is a list of things you have done. Gave me a fresh start, made me feel joy in my home again, provided me with clear flooring, no more trips or falls, allow me to get washed in a clean bathroom, allow me to get food and having an area to make food, allowing me to sleep in my own bed again. I will no longer live, eat and sleep on my couch 24/7. I feel I am a better cat mum. Before I felt I was letting them down so much. I was embarrassed about mess, so didn't want people in my flat. Now I feel I can let people in. As I have access to all new areas now, I can get an OT assessment and have the ability to get aids thanks to you. After being ill for years, life moving quicker than I could move things built up. For the past 2.5 years, I have lived on my couch. Now I can rest in my bedroom, live in my living room, and I will look after myself better in this environment, and this may make my health better. Many thanks. So yeah, that was such a lovely note. And as we said in a video a couple of videos ago, that's our favourite part about this job is the thanks. And well, not so much the thanks, it's being physically told the difference we're making. We're in there and we're doing it, and then we kind of like, it's not until we take a step back and see the footage we're like, oh yeah, we made a big difference. But then hearing the actual difference that you make in the person's life, not just in their environment, that's my favourite thing. You're nearly crying.
I know, I'm a bit emotional tonight. It's late, I'm tired.
It takes more than that to make me cry. I'm cold-hearted.
Yeah.
I've got a bit of a
we see the difference it makes looking at it in the environment, but we don't really hear the difference it makes on the person's like emotionally and mentally.
Yeah.
So I think that's the difference when, do you know when someone reaches out and gives us thanks after we've done it?
Mm-hmm.
Not that we would ever be doing it for that, do you know what I mean?
But it helps, you know, it
It's a nice
bolsters
touch.
us along.
It's a nice touch.
We got a comment on the video last week that said, like, they didn't mean any offence, and I didn't take any offence from it, because they were genuinely asking, you know, for the houses that we cleaned, when the bathroom condition is like what it was last week, how are the residents, you know, bathing and looking after themselves? Like, they don't understand. And I says, well, you know, that's one of the reasons that what we do does make such a difference, because they're not bathing and looking after themselves, you know, and then that doesn't help with their physical and mental health. You know, once the environment gets like this, then they end up eating fast food and not being able to wash, and they're not sleeping in a bed or getting a good night's sleep, and then that has an effect on their mental health, and then the house gets worse, and it's just a really horrible, vicious cycle that they then get stuck in. And it's not until they're able to ask for help that they can then get out of that cycle. And so I thought that was it was a genuine question, you know. How are people looking after themselves? Well, they're not. That's why what we do makes such a big difference. So this is the kind of like progress pictures where all the rubbish was gone. And then the next part of this video is the second day. Well, technically the third day, but the second day that we were working on this living room.
So within this video, what was your favourite part?
I looked at you as well and still did not know what you were going to say there. Okay, so in the living room, what was my favourite part? Nothing. So to be fair, right, I did not really enjoy the cleanup of the living room, to be honest. My favourite thing was, I am just so jealous of her book collection. She has so many nice books, and they're not, most of them aren't even opened. I might hit her up and be like, hey, want to trade some books? Like, I'll just like, you can have a shot of this one and I'll have a shot of that series that looked pretty good. Even you read the back of her blurb and was like, oh, this looks like a quite good series.
I read a few of the books and I was like, right, okay, remember that one, because I probably would like to read that
and we've
series.
forgotten them all.
And I've forgotten them all. So, maybe I will really. And also, do you know these books? Can you just take a picture of your bookshelf?
Yeah. And the lady's obviously into her crafts as well, because, like, obviously before the house started getting into this condition, you know, it looks very organised underneath it all. Like, I really like the layout of her shelves and how she's, like, laid out her craft magazines and her books and her actual craft supplies and things. Also, I don't know if we mentioned in the last video that she is very much an impulsive shopper, and she admitted that to us as well. We're not just making that up, like, of our own assumptions. Like, there were so many packages, as you could tell by the cardboard mountain.
There were so many unopened packages as well. So, least favourite part?
The dead mice.
Okay.
Like, removing them, probably. Okay. Especially because, like, and this is going to be TMI, but most of them were rigor mortis, and that was actually fine. It was the ones that hadn't reached that stage that creeped me out the most, because then they're still soft. It's like, ugh, yuck. So at this point, this was the second day. Oh, there's you just standing, playing with the cat toy. Which, by the way, this is on 10 times speed right now, so she did that for so long.
I did. I enjoyed playing with the cat. He didn't have his mum home. I was trying to make him feel good.
There were 2 cats, I think, in this property. Yeah,
but one was shy and one wasn't. And I actually believe that one was the one that was shy.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that's the only one I've really seen, apart from when I was watching footage back.
Oh, my phone's dead, otherwise I would have double checked that.
What was your favourite and least favourite part?
So my favourite part was not having to pick up the dead mice. And my least favourite part was the cardboard boxes. To be honest, I will be happy if I never see another Amazon box in my life again.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't mind the boxes so much.
I just got so bored with it. Like, I was sick of breaking up boxes.
Yeah, I have to admit, I was really overwhelmed in this room, and it wasn't, like, it was after we took all the rubbish out, because there was so many belongings. That's why Danielle kind of does a lot of the living room herself, because I was like, I'm
Yeah,
just
she just I could see it.
overstimulated, overwhelmed. Like,
I was like, you go and do this and I'll take care of this.
so one thing that we did in this house, which it was just simply we didn't have time and we need the resident there for it, and she needs more places to put things, basically, is there were so many belongings that we did just bag up the belongings or box them up and put them into the bedroom cupboard and in the bedroom, all stacked and things. But the lady has reached out looking for a regular cleaning service, so we are going to recommend probably Charlene, who, if you guys don't already follow her on YouTube, she has a channel called Charlene and Clean. It's relatively new. She just started it about a month ago, but she did help us clean previously, and she did work for us when we were doing our paid business service. So we'd probably recommend her or another lady that we've worked with called Emma. So we'll recommend one of them to go in and help her go through all the belongings and keep on top of the house, because it's not something that we can currently offer ourselves. So even though it looks a lot tidier, in the end, there is still a lot of work to be done in the house, because we like to be, transparent with you guys. And if we bag up things and put them away, we're going to tell you where we put them in. And so the end result pictures, mostly in the bedroom, are not like fully end result, because then we do put things in there. But the living room, this is the end result. Oh, I just thought, do you know what my favourite part of this was actually? Was putting the couch cover on.
Oh, right, okay.
Because it just looks so nice. You still see that.
Do you know my least favourite part? I want to change it as well. My least favourite part is we ran out of time before we managed to get like the living room floor completely clean.
Oh yeah. That was frustrating, because we could get it clean as well. But the difference is still remarkable. Yeah. we found so many interesting things in this living room as well that we can't really talk about. But rock on, lady, rock on.
You do you.
Yeah. There was a part, we've passed it now, right? But I'm trying to take the cover off of the sofa to put in a bag. And there's a bag next to me for belongings to go into. And I'm just moving the stuff to the next couch cushion. And you told me off.
Yeah,
you were like, Steph,
really
the bag's right there. You could have just moved them into the bag. I'm like, I don't practice the one-touch method. I was just so hyper-focused on getting that cover off the sofa. I was not thinking about helping you at all.
I know. I think at that point as well, I was like, really? Like, it's right there.
She called me a dick, guys. She was so mean.
I said that's a dick move.
Because I was like, oh, I'm just and I was looking for the word hyper focusing, and she was like, dickish. Like, no, that's not what I was looking for. But yeah, I suppose I was being. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
And then our Hoover bag filled up in this one. That's what we mentioned that in the last video. But did you order the bags? No.
Because you stopped me from doing it while I was looking at it, and if I don't do it in the moment, that's it, it's gone. I forget.
Well, you were trying to do it in the middle of a video. There's a time and place.
But a video about helping people.
Yeah.
With people listening to us, because we help people. So if I'm taking a minute to be like, right, listen, we need these bags to help people, guys. I'm pretty sure they're not going to be like, Danielle, get off your phone.
But I was like that,
yeah.
So was that me being dickish again?
Yeah, and I never ordered the bags. Look at that.
Well, hopefully you remember when your phone's charged, because I'll forget immediately after this video. There was something else I wanted to say about this living room, and it's gone right out of my head. First of all, I love that chair in the corner. I wish I had space for a reading chair, because I just want it so much. So we do a bit of cleaning in this, mostly you, because I was being too slow. By the end of this, I could barely bend down. Like, I always get in trouble off you guys for not bending properly. But yeah, my back was suffering at the end of this clean. Oh, that's what I wanted to say. When we went out for lunch on this day, when we came back in, like, I had reached my limit for wearing a mask. That's why I'm not wearing any more PPE.
I think I only wore the basic masks in this one, because my skin gets really irritated with the big.
You did wear the respirator at the beginning of this.
Yeah, I did. When we were doing the
So when
rubbish removal.
I took off the respirator, I did try putting on one of those blue masks, but like by the time I'm just so done with the respirator, like I just feel claustrophobic. I can't. So I put it on my face and immediately took it off. I was like, nope, not wearing this. That's when I started to notice the smells.
Yeah.
But it certainly smelled a lot better by the time we'd finished. Anyway, we're kind of getting to the end now. It's just the floor bit. So if you've liked this content, please like and subscribe and comment for the algorithm. And we will see you in the next one. Bye.